Alrighty, guys. Thanks so much for joining me. This is your host, ID Jester. We're going to be talking about Stratomatic Baseball Max. Stratomatic Baseball Max. So, if you're not familiar with this is the new beta program that Stratomatic is releasing to play their baseball game. It's going to be an online resource for players to be able to play their games, and you can sign up for the beta, which I saw Dave Garner got the golden ticket, and so he was talking about it the other day. So I was like, you know what? It's not going to hurt me. I'll go sign up and see if I can get a golden ticket as well. And guess what? Stratomatic, in their infinite wisdom, chose me to send me a beta key to try out their game. And so I did. I played 3 games so far, I think, on the system. And so I'm going to give you my initial thoughts and impressions. And this is not going to be a Stratomatic rant or anything like that. So if you're just come to watch this Jester lose his mind because he's talking about Stratomatic again, nope, I'm just going to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly all at the same time. And you guys, if you can, I would highly recommend you sign up for the Baseball Max. If I can get a ticket, you might be able to get a ticket, and you can try it out for yourself, because this is one of these games I think is going to be completely subjective to what you want and what you want to try to do. And what you're looking for, right? It depends on what you want to do, what you're trying to do, and what you're looking for, and whether or not this program is going to fit into what you need. So this is not going to be a Stratomatic rant. This is just going to be me talking about the program, the goods, the bad, the uglies, and anything else. Jester being on a regular clinic, he was giving the good, the bad, and the ugly. There you go. How you doing, Cleveland baseball fan? How you doing? So, as I said, this is not going to be a Jester rant. This is going to be a short 20, 30-minute video as I talk about just my initial thoughts and impressions of the program. Again, if they send me a key, they might send one to you. I don't know if they have so many and they're giving out, or if they're just giving one to everyone. I don't know. I just signed up for it last weekend, and I got it an email the other day. So, no, there will be no ranting. There will be no ranting today. So be curious about how this program works as an entry point for the Stratomatic universe. Okay, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about this is just my initial impressions of the game. This is what I'm going to say. When you guys see this game in action, you're going to realize what I've been telling you guys for 20 years is actually true. You're going to realize, because whoever they got to design the game has done a great job. It looks like a great I cannot show you anything. I'm sure, I don't know, they didn't send me an NDA or anything like that, but I'm sure, because this is beta, I'm not allowed to show you any screenshots. I'm not allowed to put it on my screen to show you anything. But what I can tell you is this looks like a computer program. It looks like out of the park baseball. It looks like you know what it looks like to me? What it looks like to me is Baseball Mogul. It's got that same view, like, you're the catcher and you have the batter standing there and you see the pitcher and you see the pitch coming in, right? So it has that same look as Baseball Mogul. And it's a clean interface, and I'm sure, for whatever reason, right, all you Stratomatic fans out there are going to say, well, wait a minute, if they can do this with their baseball program, why do we have to put up with that bullshit computer program they've given us for 25 years? That's out of my control. I'm just saying, if they can do with Baseball Max, why can't they do it with the regular programs? I mean, come on. I've been telling you guys they've been slacking for 20 years. Nobody wants to hear it. So I'm not gonna bitch about it anymore because I'm done. I've done said my piece for 20 years. If you don't want to listen to me, don't listen to me. But when Baseball Max comes out, the first thing you're going to see is the difference between Baseball Max and their computer programs is literally 20 years of evolution. Literally 20 years of evolution. It's as simple as that. It looks like if you were to take Baseball Mogul and put it with updated graphics, that's what it looks like. It looks like you're sitting there in the catcher. Like I said, you have the home plate in front of you. You have the batter standing there. You have the pitcher mount. And the interface is great. It works really well. And what I will say is it comes with like when it pops up the screen the first time, it'll actually pop up like a little bubble. There's like a little bubble and it'll say, you click on this to do this, and it'll tell you like 1 of 5. And you click on next, and it'll pop the bubble over somewhere else, and it'll say this button does this. Next, pops it over to another spot. So it's got like a little built-in tutorial to help you figure out what you're clicking on, where you need to go. So I played. So there's many options. There's historical games. There's I didn't do everything. I only played 3 games, and I didn't go into that much, to trying to find out anything. But what I can say is I saw some. I set up 2011 St. Louis Cardinals replay, historic replay. All right. And it did its little auto generating, and little dice came out, and the dice spins and this, that, and the other thing. And it did that for about 3 or 4 minutes. And then it said loading something else. And so it took a little while for it to run its little engine. Then it said like processing something and other blah, blah, blah. So it took about 5 or 6 minutes for, it to generate its little thing. And then it generated the season. And I was basically, once it was done, it put me on like the day, like I think it was March 31st, and it had the games at the top listed. The games at the top. I think there was 5 games that day. The Cardinals were one of them, and then it had like statistics and information in the different divisions, and everyone was obviously 0-0 and blah blah blah. And so I was like, oh, okay, this looks pretty good. Yeah. I'm like, if they can do this with Baseball Max, but they couldn't do with their computer program for 30 years, that okay. Not that Jester's been saying they've been slacking for 20 years, but none of you people worry about that. But that's a different story. Again, I'm going to keep harping on that because I've been trying to tell you guys for 20 years, they could have done something like this. If they would have put out this baseball game 20 years ago, or even 5 years ago, they could have put that out. And I think this is my own personal feeling. I think what they decided was they were going to update their computer baseball program. Obviously, baseball is their most popular product. It generates the most revenue for them. It's probably, I would say, between 50 to 60% of their business is from the baseball. So obviously, I thought, this is my own personal. I have no inside information. This is just me thinking. They were probably deciding they were going to update their baseball program. And as they were working on this, they decided, you know what? We shouldn't release this and sell this. What we should do is we should get people to buy it every month, because why sell it once when we can sell it every month to somebody? So I think that's what they end up doing, is saying, oh, that's a good idea. Well, instead of just selling this program, because it's basically the Stratomatic program, minus a few things we'll talk about here in a minute. It's basically the Stratomatic baseball program with a new interface. And the interface, again, looks like a 2020 computer program. It looks like out of the park baseball. It looks like any of those. It looks, the graphics, I would say, are more state of the art than Action PC baseball. If you're familiar with that, that is, again, that's another program that's been out for 15 years and they refuse to update it. So it's like an out of the park baseball is what it looks like. And again, once it generated the season, it popped me to March 31st and had all the games up at the top, and I can click on each of the games. And I think the Yankees are playing Cleveland, and there was a couple other games. So I was like, no, okay, let's try out a few things. So I auto-simmed. I wanted to play, obviously, the Cardinals, and it knew this, right? Because I had set it up, and it asked me a few questions as I was setting up the season, like what season do you want? Which team do you want to manage? And I chose 2011 St. Louis Cardinals. I did all that. So it knew automatically that I was going to manage the St. Louis Cardinals. So when I went to play games from March 31st, it automatically, when I clicked on, I think it was the Yankees in Minnesota, or Minnesota's playing Cleveland, I forget who it was, but I clicked on that game and it said play, and then auto play was highlighted. Like it was highlighted, it knew I didn't want to play this game. I could play it, but I could also auto play. And I just clicked the auto play button. And when you do that, it's interesting because it pops up like a little screen, or it takes you to a screen, and it like auto generates, like you, at first you think, oh my God, they're scoring like 100 runs, because you see the counter like spinning, and it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then it goes 6, 5, 4, 3, 8, 9, 7, like it's randomly determining. And it took about, I would say 15 to 20 seconds to sim that game. I mean, it wasn't very quick. It wasn't like instantaneous. It was not. It took, maybe 10 or 15 seconds. It wasn't very long. Okay. It was, don't get me wrong. It wasn't very long to auto sim the game. It was, but it wasn't instantaneous. Like I know even like in Stratomatic computer program, when you click auto sim the day and there's a list of 5 games, it'll, it was probably maybe 10 to 15 seconds to generate the game. And then I did the next game, and I did the next game, and I did the next game. And then it came time for the Cardinals game. And instead of auto play highlighted, it had the play button highlighted, not the auto play button. So it knew, the system or the game knew, or figured out based upon the choices that I made, that, oh yes, you probably want to play this game. Yes. So I clicked on the play button, and then that's when it pops you up. And it takes you right. And again, it took a minute to load, a couple minutes. I would say a couple minutes to go to the next screen. It was spinning and doing its little thing. And then the lineups came up, and I didn't check, but I've played this game enough that I know that St. Louis is at home against San Diego the first 3 games of the season, because I played 2011 St. Louis Cardinals. I've started this project like 20 times. And so I know, and I'm pretty familiar with the players that play this game, but I didn't like auto check. So I was like, oh, I'm going to see if it auto generates the right schedule. Now, I don't know if it auto generated every single game and every single player correctly, because I only got to play a couple games. But the games that I played, it did. Again, I didn't check to make sure. Well, is this player, did it do, what did he bat first? Did he bat second? And what I should do is probably double check that next time. And then, like I said, you come up and you're sitting in the catcher's view, you see the pitcher out there, and then it does that little tutorial again and asks you, okay, this button is where you set your defenses. And okay. Because I use that later on. And I'll tell you why. And then, it says, click this button. If your defenses are set, click this button and the play will happen. And so the first play, Chris Carpenter for the Cardinals is on the mound and he's pitching. And I clicked it and it did its thing. And then the batter disappeared. And then another batter is standing there. And it basically said, it has a little chat box on the side. It's not a chat box. It's not kind of the wrong, like a information window on the side. And it says what happened in that window. And then as you do this, another window pops up as a tutorial and it says, you can click this button to find out the results of the play, blah, 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 which is good. And it was a strikeout. By the way, it was a strikeout. My first strikeout, Chris Carpenter. Yeah. So that was kind of cool. Here's the downside. At least for me as a Strat player, as someone interested in baseball, unlike the computer program where you can buy the player cards, so when it does its thing and you play it on the computer, you can see the two cards, the pitcher card and the batter card, and then it kind of moves the little thing around, and then it boop, and it shows you the result in the card, right? This had zero of that. None of that at all. What it did was basically roll everything in the background. It didn't show anything. And then it just said, Chris Carpenter strikes out whoever the player was. And then that player disappears and another player, lefty or righty, shows up on the screen. And I was like, what happened? And then I looked at, okay, the information window, and it said, click here, and you can find out more information. And over on the right-hand side is the lineup of the team. So you see the Cardinals team, and you see San Diego, and they were listed there with the players and the positions and everything and their ratings. And then there was another little arrow on this. If you're like on your computer screen, there's like a little arrow on the side, and you clicked on the arrow, and another, like an overlay slid out, and it had like text of what happened. And then you can click the little arrow, and the thing slid back over, and all you could see was the little caret on the side. A little caret thing is what I was talking about. And so as a Stratomatic player, I was like, why can't I see the card? Are they trying to keep the cards so people can't see them now? Is this what their business model is? They're afraid people are going to get Stratomatic Max and then they're going to see the player cards and they're going to create their own player cards? Or why can't I see the cards? I can see them in the computer program, but I can't see them in. And if you're trying to get young kids involved in Stratomatic going forward, why would you not want to show them the cards so they go, oh, this is cool, let me buy some of their cards? Because obviously that's going to make you some money. So why wouldn't you show I don't get it. I'm afraid I don't get why I couldn't see the cards. Now, maybe this is beta, right? Oh, you can see this. It says this big word, beta. Maybe this is still to come. I don't know. I haven't checked the rules. I haven't looked to see anything, right? I haven't investigated. I don't care enough to investigate. I wanted to see how it plays. I wanted to see what it can do. I wanted to find out what was the function of Baseball Max. I could see how people, not myself, but maybe other people out there would get Baseball Max because they're like, I can play a baseball game, right? But here's the thing. Okay, so let me get back to my thought, and hopefully I'll remember my thought. But somebody remind me. In case I forget to talk about choices for the players in what happens on the field. Okay. So, and we'll probably get to it here because like the next, it was like a 1-2-3 inning, the Cardinals. So the next batter, right, pops up on the screen, and I could set my defense, but I'm just leaving it the way it is. and I just click next, or I think you click the button that says defense ready. You click that button, and then it just auto generates the next play. Boom. And it was a ground out to shortstop. It was a ground out to shortstop. And you see, like, it switches to like a little overlay, and you see like a field, and you see the ball. It's like a red line. You don't see the ball. You see a red line go out, and then you see it bounce a couple times right at like where the third baseman is standing. So you can obviously visually see what had happened. Oh, okay, grounded to short. Now, whether it was an infield hit or an out, you have to look at the little text box because it doesn't like flash out or anything. All you see is that little thing on the side. What I would have liked to see, and again, beta, so I'm sure maybe other people are suggesting all these cool things, would be, if it's an out, like, and they draw the line and boom, 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 just flash like out, or, put the number 1 for like first out, 2 for second out, things like that. So people know, because I didn't know if it was a hit or an out. The other thing I would suggest is it was a red line, right? And if you're going to do that for outs, great. And then make like hits a green line. So if I see a green line, I go, oh, it's a hit. Yay. But no, because like the next batter comes up and he hits a double, and you see a red line go out to center field. And it was like right at where the position of the center fielder was. So it's like, oh, great, fly out. And the next thing I know, I see this guy on the screen way out there. Because again, it's like the view of a catcher. I see a guy standing out there. I'm like, who the hell is that? It's not my guy. And then I looked at the little chat box and said, so-and-so hit a double. I'm like, a double? It went right to my guy. And it was a red line. That doesn't make any sense. Red means out. Green is good. Red is out. But it was a red line. So again, maybe it's beta. Maybe they're going to do green and red, or purple and red, or whatever. I don't know. But it confused me. It confused me because it was like, and then the next thing came up, and it was another ground out. It was a ground out. I think it went to second base. I think it was a ground out. Again, red line has a little, it kind of does like a little thing, and then it bounces a couple times in front of the player standing there. So you would think it was like a ground out to second. But what ended up happening, I don't know if it was, I'm trying to remember if it was an error or something happened, and like the runner came home. And I was like, what? That didn't make, oh no, wait. It was, no, that was on my team. I don't remember what happened, but they ended up scoring a run. All right. So anyways, what I was going to say is it was weird because, again, really cool interface, and it worked really well, but it was like, again, it's beta. I know it's beta, and maybe some of these suggestions are coming in, and they'll make changes, and they'll update it and do all that cool stuff. But it was like, I couldn't make heads or tails if it was an out or a hit, because all the lines are red. So wherever the ball went, it was like red. And it always went towards a position like center field, shortstop, second base, third base, pitcher, whatever. And so, I know what it was. Yes, it was. So that's what it was. It was a shot to second. Now I remember, right? And they had that guy that was on second from the double, and a little message popped up on the screen, and it said, so-and-so is headed home on the single. You can choose to either cut the ball off or throw it home for the out. And it gave you the percentage that the player was going to, I believe, make it home, or he was safe. I think it was said safe chance equals 45% or 55%. Something. It was right around 50-50. I think it was 55%. So it was like so-and-so player, like a little message, right? Pops up. It says so-and-so player headed home on the single by so-and-so. you can choose one of two things: to either A, throw them out or throw home, or B, cut off the throw, I think was the two choices. And so I was like, well, he's only got a 55% chance. I don't want this guy to score. I'm going to cut it off. I clicked on it. I know I clicked on throw him out. I clicked on throw him out. I know I did. And then at the end of the play, it threw it to first, and it threw it in, and we didn't cut him. We cut it off. So I don't know what happened there. Again, I don't know if there was some internal roles that I'm not privy to as a player, but it didn't do what I asked it for. And I was like, well, I don't know if that's a bug. Again, beta, yes, I understand. Maybe there's bugs, but it didn't do what I asked. So I played the first, the second, and the third inning, Cardinals and San Diego. And I had two choices where things came up. The one time was to send our runner home because he was on second. And it was Colby Rasmus hit a double. So I'm trying to remember who it was. That hit it. But anyways, it said, do you want to send this runner home, or do you want him to stop at third base? That was the two choices. I said, send him home, because it said like 70% chance. I said, send him home. And it did. He sent him home. So I know, maybe that, like I said, maybe that one time was a fluke, but it ended up sending him home. And the baseball program chose cut it off, because it said in the little chat window, so-and-so cuts the throw off home. So I'm assuming that's to tell me that they chose not to try. Because I think if you try for home, and then the runner can advance on the throw home. So I played the first, the second, and third inning, and I had two different chances of knowing, like making decisions. Do I do this or do I do this? Which is cool. But with that said, it was kind of disappointing to not see the cards. I would have liked to see the cards. Being a professional Stratomatic player, I would like to, see the cards. Again, I know it's beta. Maybe they're going to add this later, but it was disappointing because I'm like having to rely on that little window to tell me the results of the play. And it's just, for me, again, this is not a Stratomatic rant. I'm just saying, for me, it wasn't as fun because, part of the fun is watching the little, and then, oh, that's the result, right? Oh, it's a strikeout. Yeah. Woo. Or, oh no, it's a triple. Oh my God, what the hell? All right. So that's part of the fun. And it didn't do any of that. It literally, again, I know it's beta. I know a lot of people are going to say, well, Jester, it's beta. You can't expect it. I know that. What I'm saying is, I'm giving you my take on it right now, right? If they didn't want people to give their information, they wouldn't let people have access to it. They let me have access to it. So I'm telling you the good, the bad, and the ugly. Again, this is not a Stratomatic rant. I'm just telling you guys what I saw. You take it for your own information, right? Again, I signed up. I would suggest everyone that watches this video to go sign up, and maybe you'll get a golden ticket, and maybe you'll get on maybe you'll be able to check it out for yourself and make your own decision. I would highly recommend everyone out there do this, because I think they need to have feedback, good, bad, from everyone, right? I've seen a lot of good things. Number one is, if they can do this with this program, a lot of people are going to be pissed off. I think there's going to be a whole internet rage out. I think Stratomatic is opened up a wormhole, not by me. I'm not, because I can care less at this point. I can care less about Stratomatic. I am done with Stratomatic. Um, but I think there's going to be a lot of people going, this game is really good and it plays great and it's very modern and it's clean. Why couldn't you have done this for our baseball program in the last 20 years and you refuse to update every year and you charge us $60? Why couldn't you have updated that? I think there's going to be an outcry, and I don't think Stratomatic realizes that. I don't think they realize there's going to be a lot of pissed off people saying, wait a minute, you want me to pay $15 for this every stinking month when you can't update my computer program? Are you kidding me? I mean, I would be surprised because, again, it looks modern. It looks great. The interface is clean. It's crisp. It looks like out of the park baseball. It plays, the look plays like baseball mogul, like catcher's view out. There's not a lot of, like, you don't see the batter swinging or anything in front of you like baseball mogul. And this is just the batter stands there and then he disappears and then another one appears. So there's not a lot of fancy graphics or anything. You do have the option to turn on the pitch so you can see the ball coming in and it'll go inside the little grid somewhere, which is kind of cool, which is neat. So I'm suppose you could do pitch by pitch, but I didn't see any pitch by pitch option. But you can turn that off as well. So if you don't like that, the little baseball dot coming at you and doing its little, its little thing like that, if you can turn that off. I did turn that off. So then after I played the third inning, I decided I'm going to try their little auto sim. And so there's an option, one of the buttons to, I don't know, something like complete fast forward or something like that. And so you click on that and it gives you like to the fourth inning, to the fifth inning, to the sixth inning, to the seventh inning, to the eighth inning, to the ninth inning, the end of the game. So I could auto sim it to any one of those. I said, let's just sim it to the top of the ninth. And it did. And again, it did this little spinny thing. It waited for a little bit. It wasn't very quick, maybe 15, 20 seconds. It wasn't very long, but it was like 15, 20 seconds. And then it popped up and then, the top part, which is interesting to me that they had the regular score thing up at the top, which took up most of the top bar, like had the team's names and then the first inning 0-0, second inning 1-0, and it took up most of the top bar. And I've been saying this for years with the computer program. Why did they have this little tiny score in the corner? Why do they do that in the computer program? But anyways, so up at the top, it was the top of the ninth inning. It was 3-2 in favor of San Diego. And they ended up getting a few things and, another hit or whatever. And it was 4-2. And then I was like, okay, I'm done with this game. I'm just going to go ahead and auto sim it to the end because I wanted to see what happens at the end of the game. And then at the end of the game, a nice size box comes up and it says like a little trophy. And inside the trophy was a couple like little exploding stars. And it says San Diego won inside like a little circle thing. So it's kind of like a little logo thing. I don't know if that's replaceable. It looks like, the little trophy thing had a spot for like your logos you could put in or whatever. I didn't see any logos. All I saw were the little stars. And then it gave you at the bottom of this little box, it said box score, or there was another option. I ended up clicking on the box score because I wanted to see what the box score looked like. And the box score looked great. It looked like a professional box score. Like literally, if you go to Baseball Reference and you click on any game and go to their baseball, their box score, that's what it looked like. It was great. It had all the details and more. Like stat junkies are going to love it. It had every single thing you could possibly ask for. and it looked great. And again, clean interface, clear and everything. And I closed that window, and then I was back at my main screen with the different divisions and the winners and the losers from the day. So that's kind of just where it stands right now as of December 2nd, 2023. Again, I know it's beta. I keep pointing the wrong way, but I know it's beta. Hopefully, for you Stratomatic fans out there, I think the guys that use the computer program are going to be like there's going to be an outcry. I believe I'm going to say it first. There's going to be an outcry. There's going to be some pushback from the players. Your Stratomatic fans are going to push back. I believe there's going to be a lot of people going, whoa, this is really good. I waited 20 years for this. You could have done this a long time ago. You know this, right? I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of people. And like I said, my personal feeling is they decided a couple years ago they were going to update their baseball program. Again, it makes them 50 to 60% of their actual revenue is from the baseball game. So I figured they were going to update it, and they started to update it, and then they decided, instead of selling this for $60 to everyone, we could probably get them to pay it for every month, because that's how businesses make big money nowadays. That's how they make big money. Is they get you to do a monthly service. They get you to do a monthly service. It's how businesses. It's if you look at Blizzard, like let's just look at Blizzard. They have World of Warcraft, the number one MMO on the planet, and they've had that for years and years. And they charge their players $20 or $10. I think it's $9.99 a month. I think I could be wrong. I don't play it, so I don't know. And there's been people that have been playing it for 20 years, right? And I mean, just calculate how much that is. It's $9 a month. That's $120 a year. Multiply that by 20 years. That's $2,400. So that's one person, $2,400. Now, if they would just sell you the program, right, and they even charge you, say, $100 for it, right? How much more money did they make? They made a lot more money by going with a monthly service. They made a ton of money. A World of Warcraft used to be $15. There you go. Okay, $15 a month. Let's just say it was $10, $15 a month. They made somebody that had played for 10 years. Let's say just 10 years, right? 10 years, $15 a month, $150 a year. That's $1,500 that they have spent on World of Warcraft, which is fine. You pay $10 a month or $15 a month. It's manageable, right? It's just that is the nature of how businesses are done. And here's the difference. Let's talk for a second, right, about successes and failures, because it works both ways. It only works if the player base supports it. Have you guys ever heard of a game called Anthem, made by one of the biggest game manufacturers in the planet, EA, right? Anthem was going to be a live service. Every month, players were going to pay them $10 to $15 a month to play Anthem, right? It's literally gone away in 2 years. It's gone away because they didn't release a good product. They didn't update it. It was not a very good game. It was trash, and it went to freeware. I don't even know if the Anthem servers are still up anymore. They might be. And this is just one of many, many, many scenarios, right? If you get the player base to support you, right? If you get the player base to support you, you can afford to continue updating your product. You can continue to keep your players happy, keep your players engaged. If you don't have enough players putting the resources in for the company to use those resources to do these things, if they're not getting the resources in, the live service will go away. So Baseball Max is dependent on you guys as the customer, if it's a success or a failure. If they get enough people playing it and supporting it and giving them revenue, they won't be able to update it and keep it alive and add things to it and make it what everyone wants it to do and add in all the cool features and everything. But if they're not getting a bunch of money in from all the subscribers, Baseball Max is going to go the way of Anthem. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that's just the reality of business, man. Appago is free except for buying seasons. There you go. Appago. That's a great model. Appago Go is a great model. You basically get the program for free and then you buy $20 for a season pass. So if I want to play the 1991 Cardinals, I go and I buy them for $20. They're now mine and I can add them to my interface and I can play them. And then if I want to play the 1993 Toronto Blue Jays, I can buy the 1993 season. And I think they're between $15 and $20 is what I remember. And you buy what you need. So is Baseball Max going to work? Is it going to succeed? I'm not going to give you. I'm not going to give you that information right now. I will think about it, and I will let you know as things progress. But I mean, it's simple. Stratomatic is only in this to make money off the customers. If they make enough money, they'll continue it. If they don't make enough money, why continue it? It's all about businesses are there to make money. They're not there to. Businesses don't. A lot of people don't realize this. I'm going to break some news here. Breaking news. Businesses don't give a shit about you, right? They don't care about you as customers. They, how can show up, right, to his spring release day every spring in April and tell everyone how much he loves them and how much the company is so appreciative and blah, 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 blah. It all comes down to how much money are they making off of this. That's all it is. Is it going to make enough money? If Hal gave a shit about his customers, he wouldn't have had them have a shitty computer program for 20 years. So Hal, it's a good thing I don't show up because I would ask Hal to his face in front of everyone, why the hell have you not done anything about your computer program in 20 years? And you want to get into it with me? I got screenshots and I've got facts about the program that's not able, if you score 10 runs in an inning, it's not able to put up a 1 and a 0 on your screen. So you have a 0 on your screen. I've got a screenshot of it. The program will not allow it to put a 10. So anyways, I mean, I'm not even going to go down that path because it's just not worth it, right? There's a lot of EA, again, the biggest computer distributor in the world, one of the biggest in the world, right? Is put millions and millions of dollars behind Anthem, right? They put millions and millions of dollars behind Anthem, and they're not going to support it unless they get the customer base. And when you only have 1,000 players playing your game every month, multiply that by, $15, that's only going to break in like $15,000 a month for them. And it's not worth it to them. They were expecting to make millions on it, right? Look at World of Warcraft. That World of Warcraft made millions and millions and millions of dollars. Now just think of the difference, right? If you charge someone one time for your game, right? One time for your game, you're making X amount of dollars. If you charge them just a little bit, but you charge them every month, you're going to make a lot more money, because most people are like, how many people out there canceled their Netflix after you get 90 or 60-day free, right? I'm one of the one customers. I just bought a new Jeep. I bought a new Jeep in April, and it gave me 90 days of free Cirrus, right? I'm the guy that calls up Cirrus like 2 days before it expires and says cancel. And they're like, oh, we can give you the same deal. We'll continue for 6 months. I'm like, no, cancel. I'm not paying you guys $6 a month for Cirrus. Well, we can give it to you for $5 a month. No, I don't want it. Thanks. I don't want your super Cirrus. Cancel my service. Like I'm that guy that does that thing. But most people out there, they won't cancel. Like most people will get Baseball Max. They'll sign up for 3 or 4 months, and they'll just, before you know it, it'll be 8 months, right? And just think of how much, if they would sell Baseball Max for $60, that's 4 months, 15, 15, 15, 15. That's $60. That's 4 months. So they can get you, the customer, to pay for 5 months of Baseball Max. They already made out. That's why they're not selling it as a program, because most people are going to sign up for at least 5 months. Most people, like, how many people are going to play it and play a lot of it, especially in the first 6 months? They're going to play a lot of it. And for Stratomatic, that's what they're banking on, which is fine. It's a business. That's what they're there to make money. I know they don't believe me, but they don't give two shits about you as a customer. What they care about is how much money you're giving them. And you can give them a lot more money if they charge you $15 a month. So that's all I have to say about Baseball Max. Again, it's a business. They're there. It's a beta. Good things. I would have liked to seen cards. I would have liked to seen again, on outs, having the red line is fine, but on hits, like, you should see a green line. And I know, oh, it's a hit, it's a double, it's a single, or whatever. Or maybe like blue lines are errors. Or how hard is it to color a line? It shouldn't be that hard, should it? But for Stratomatic, it seems like everything is too hard. It's just everything is so hard for them, like, for some reason. I'm just looking at the chat. It's like I said, there's nothing wrong with the actual program. I just think a lot of people are going to be, a lot of Strat computer people are going to be pissed off. There's going to be, I mean, again, if they can come out with this, like this modern interface, clean, crisp, it looks like out of the park baseball in the view of Baseball Mogul. You're the catcher. You got the catcher's view. You see the pitch coming right at you. It's got that same look. And it's basically updated like modern graphics. I wouldn't say like state-of-the-art graphics. I would say 20, 21, 22, anywhere in that frame. Like, it's decent. And the interface, and I think a lot of people are going to be like, whoa, what the hell, Stratomatic? Like, seriously, you can put all the money into this, but you couldn't put money into my program? I've been trying for 20 years to get you to update my computer program, but you can't do that. But you can come up with, I think there's going to be a lot of pissed off people. I believe, I see it. Again, the game was fine and great. I would have liked to seen cards. I would have liked to seen the results instead of just pop up on a window and the batter disappear. I mean, there's a lot. Again, I know it's beta, but there's a lot they can do. So I mean, it could be a really good resource for people to play Stratomatic. It could be, but again, it's going to also make you think for a second, or hopefully it'll make you think and say, I spent $60 in the computer program, and I have 12 seasons at $30 a piece. That's $600. I spent 600, 700, $800 on Stratomatic computer program, and this is what I get. And now they come out with this other thing, and it's state of the art and looks great and plays great and has a great interface, and I can do everything I need to do with just a few clicks. And really, you can do that for Baseball Max, but you can't do that for my computer program, huh? Okay. So you wonder why they can do this for Baseball Max, but they can't do it for their computer program. And again, I think they were going to update the computer program, and they said, boom, wait a minute, time out. We can make a lot more money on this if we charge everyone every month. So that's just my personal, I have no inside information. I don't know that. What I do know is it was great. It was fine. It played great. You can sim things. Again, it's kind of slow, but again, it could be because it's beta. It didn't like auto sim. It took a little bit of time, stuff like that. So hopefully you Stratomatic fans, again, put in your request. I put one in. They accepted me. If they accept me, there's something wrong with them, because I give two shits about Stratomatic. But anyways, that's my take on it. Baseball Max. It's going to be interesting when it releases. I'm going to be an interested party to see what all you baseball Stratomatic fans out there think of this, because it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to find out what your take is on this. Are you upset that they can do this with the computer program and then release the thing they've been releasing every year for 20 years? And if you're not upset with that, you're okay with that, are you going to continue to buy? I think a lot of people are going to stop buying the computer program because they're going to be like, wow, this Baseball Max is so much. I think that's their hope. Like Stratomatic is hoping. A lot of people go, oh, this is so much better than the computer program. Why would I buy the computer program when I can buy this? I'll just switch over and play on this. I think Stratomatic is thinking a lot of people will do that. Maybe a lot of people will, because it is so much better. I mean, 1990, 2020, you decide. So anyways, that's Lower Store Board Gamer, Tim Dean, Philip Reynolds, Rob, Tabletop Hoops, Mike, Terranova, John DFW. Thank you all for coming by. Baseball Demos is in the house. Hello. Stratomatic a long time ago. I mean, a lot of people use the Stratomatic computer program just for their stats. Like they use the computer program because, like, if you play cards and dice, you don't want to have to sim all the other games. You want the stats from the other games. So I even did that for a while. You buy the computer program, you have it auto sim all the other games, and then you go in and you manually play the game that you just played, and you put in what happened. Okay, so we had a strikeout. Okay, strikeout, and then a ground out. Okay, and then a fly out to left. Okay, and so you use the computer program for that purpose. A lot of people did that. But I think it's going to be interesting just to see when this releases, if what you Stratomatic fans think of it, and if you're going to go back to the computer program, and B, if you're wondering why they can do this with your baseball program, but they couldn't fix your other one. I would like to know that. I think it's going to be interesting to talk with you guys to find out what you guys think of it. Because I know if I cared, and I don't care, I really don't. In fact, I'm going to be selling all my Stratomatic stuff. I've decided to call some stuff out of my collection, and some of the stuff is coming from, don't get me wrong, Stratomatic is a great game. Playing the game is great. Playing the game and enjoying it is great. Don't get me wrong. This has got nothing to do with actually playing the game and using the. I don't like the cards, number one, right? I don't like the cards. I would much rather take my money and give it to somebody whose cards I enjoy. So I've just decided, just my own personal, I decided I'm not supporting Stratomatic with anything anymore. I won't be buying any Stratomatic. I won't be doing anything with Stratomatic. In fact, I'm probably going to be selling the stuff that I do have. I've got a few seasons that I might just throw back to somebody else because I just every time I want to play them, I feel like a traitor. Like how can you say bad things about Stratomatic and then enjoy the game so much? I do enjoy the game. Don't get me wrong. I love the game. It's a great game. It's just personally myself. It's me. It's me. It's not Stratomatic. All right. All right. So I'm liking it. All right. Yeah, I think Baseball Max, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great. It's just, are you willing to spend $15 a month on it? It's a lot of cash. And if you can, great. There's a lot more things that I'm going to be spending my money on, but that's just me. Again, I'm just giving you how it looks, how it played, what happened, how the screens and everything, the little tutorial messages that popped up were good. It kind of darkened everything out and kind of said, click this button. And this is what this button does. Click this button. This is what it does. Oh, and I'd even in the top of the ninth inning, Cardinals and San Diego, again, replacing players, right? I wanted to pull the pitcher. So I pulled the pitcher, and it's just simply, it has the bench players, it had the relief pitchers, and then it had the lineup. And basically it was just click and drag. You just click the pitcher up, dropped him in the pitcher spot, boom. It was done. And I was like, you know how long this would take me to do it in their computer program? Like 5 minutes. And I can just literally click and drag it. So it's going to be so interesting to see the computer program players out there, how they feel about Baseball Max and how, I would feel like betrayed would be if I cared, but I don't care. I really don't. Stratomatic would have to do a lot of stuff positive in the right direction for their customers before I gave two craps about what they did. The only reason I signed up for Baseball Max was so I could try it out and give you guys the information, because I'm afraid there's going to be a lot of people giving you the wrong information. I'm going to tell you the way it is, right? I'll give you the honest information, unbiased information, right? I'll give it to you straight as it is. Good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm giving it to you good interface, clean, crisp, easy to manage. Tutorials were good. A lot of good things. Game simulations, stats, history. The score sheet at the end of the game was awesome. There was a lot of things to like. Like, I'm not even going to say it anymore because, you've all heard it, right? It was so much better than the regular computer program. You've heard that, so I'm not going to say it again. Anyways, that's it. Baseball Max by Stratomatic. Sign up. I did it. If they give me a license, they'll give anyone a license. Thanks. We'll see you all next time. Take care, guys.